here, whether it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the evening, whatever. We're off on some kind of boat trip now. So what's going on here is that we're on sort of a little tiny island in the middle of a big fjord, which you've just seen over there. And the reason we're here is, I think, to butter us up before we get to interview Biosphere. That's what happens at one of these things. It's called a record company junket. And what they do is they basically fly a lot of journalists, there's a bunch of journalists over there, to somewhere glamorous and exciting, and it gives you something else to write about or interview about the artist, if you see what I mean. Well, it might look like a big shed in the middle of nowhere, but this is the reason we're here. Inside there, you've got Ultraviolet and Biosphere playing live at the top of the world, just about. What's the best thing about living here?
I think the nature and the atmosphere. The people are very friendly, and everyone, there is very little hostility here. It's very nice. You can be whatever you want.
Were you uncomfortable up there on stage last night?
No, I'm just trying to concentrate on the music, and I'm not a rock and roll type. I'm not doing that because it doesn't fit. The music is kind of ambient, so I think I should be like that on stage also.
Do you think it was quite strange playing it? Do you think the people who were watching last night, the locals, were sort of going, I've heard this before. You know what I mean?
I don't think so. I think the people were there to dance and drink and having fun, and I don't think they are very much into this ambient and techno music, but I think they enjoyed it. So it was okay.
When we're freezing to death, watch me now, I'm moving on.
With Substrata, did you decide to make a cold sounding album? Because I was listening to it the other night and it's chilly.
I don't think it's because I have removed all the techno elements compared to my old albums, and in fact I tried to make a warmer, more organic music, but at the same time maybe cold, but not in a technological way. Yeah.
Do you think you'll end up making an album where you don't actually generate anything in the studio at all? It'll just be natural samples? And is the next stop after that just not making anything at all?
No, I think I will always, sample things, because it's too boring just to make recordings and release it on a record.
But there's an element of that to this whole trip, isn't there? You're kind of just flying people out to a place where you sort of make your music and where you express the environment you find yourself in. You're just kind of like there's a similarity to us being here and listening to your record. Is that fair?
Yeah, you can say that. I mean, I think it's okay for the journalist to see where the music is made instead of me going to London and trying to explain it, you know, for hours, and you won't understand it anyway. I think you have to be here.
So what does that say to somebody who's living in, say, Brussels or Portugal or something? How are they going to be able to understand the music if they don't come here?
I mean, the music is abstract, and it's meant to, for people who, when they listen to it, they can make their own pictures if they want, because it's abstract music.
In the Arctic, there's a lot of diversity creatively. There are very few people. I think it's interesting because it's only recently been possible for people making music up here to be able to live in these conditions but have any impact outside, because they can make music at home, and they can communicate now with the outside world better through computers and obviously faxes and whatever. So 10 years ago this couldn't have happened.
So even though the gig was only to, a few hundred people up here in the middle of nowhere in the land of the midnight sun, its effect is quite wide-ranging, right?
Yeah, well, I think the effect is bigger doing it up here than it would be to do it in some shitty club in Oslo, really, because it makes people interested. They want to cover it. So this concert is going out live to 32 countries via radio. So it's also out worldwide via internet, so that if you're in South America, you can tap into it, download it, and check it out. In my opinion, Biosphere is making contemporary classical music for the future, rather than for the rave audience, and so one could just as well do it up here, really.
One is, to some extent, a product of one's environment, and I think maybe there is a chilliness to the music. Maybe there is a kind of crystalline melancholy as an undertone to a lot of the artists' work, the best artists anyway, like Gare, who's Biosphere, like Ultraviolet. There may be a lot of other happier references going on, but there's always a sense of the enormity and the extremity of the place where they come from.